It is hump day. Welcome back to another video. I don't know how this came up, but it came up. Regardless, it is hump day. Today we'll be doing another 2-round NFL mock draft without trades, by 1 round mock draft with trades. It's every single Monday. So as we get closer to the draft, I don't know if I'll be doing a 7-round mock draft because one, it just takes so long. These 2-round mock drafts already take so long because I already talk about these players so much. I'm not saying I'm not glazing myself or anything. I'm just saying they take a good amount of time. It takes me an hour and a half to record. It takes me like an hour to edit. So yeah, maybe even more, maybe an hour and a half to edit. So it takes like 3 combined hours for these 2 mock drafts. So I don't know how I feel about doing a 7-round mock draft, but that is open to suggestions. I will decide that. Make sure to come tune into my Twitch streams. We will be streaming. So with the first overall pick, let's jump right into it. Let's get Fernando Mendoza off the board immediately. This makes the most sense. I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna have pretty much cookie cutter picks to top 5. The thing with Fernando Mendoza, frame is good. I don't love him the most as any prospect I really have going first round. I love Joe Burrow coming out of college, even though I didn't really look that extensively to the draft scheme then because I was in 7th grade. But regardless, I liked that. I liked him coming out of college. I kind of feel the same way with Fernando Mendoza. I just don't like the tools as much, but the leadership's there, and I don't think Joe Burrow had that leadership, that locker room presence that Mendoza did. I don't think really any quarterback in recent memory has. So I like Fernando Mendoza in that aspect too. But regardless, he can make plays. Just because I'm knocking him for his physical tools doesn't mean he's a terrible quarterback. Because if he was, he would be in the Carson Beck territory. Maybe he's a really good leader, but he doesn't have good tools. I'm not saying Carson Beck is not. I don't know how Carson Beck is in the locker room. I don't think it's anything special. But regardless, Fernando Mendoza goes here. So we're going to go Fernando Mendoza. Makes the most sense. I like it a lot. The Jets on the board here. I usually go Alvaro Reese because that makes the most sense schematically because he's played the most off-ball linebacker just in general. But today we're going to go a little different. We're going to go Ruben Bain Jr. I love Ruben Bain Jr. I mean, there are some sort of rumors coming out. I don't even know. I wasn't even going to pay attention to that because I don't think there's any rumors to really worry about other than his arm length. But that's not really rumors. They measure them and it's short. Oh well, what to do? The fucking production is so good that I'm like, maybe we should halt on the hate on the arm length. I think I like Ruben Bain Jr. a lot. I don't think I know. And with Ruben Bain, when watching his film, I said this a million times. I'm going to say this again. His passion, his grit, grit is the wrong way to phrase it, but his passion is something that you cannot deny. He's always around in the play. Even if he misses and messes up, he chases it down, and that's what I love. The passion is there for the team. And even though he's not going to be as schematically fit compared to Ohio State's linebacker Ruiz, I think he will be as good because he did play outside, not as good, but he has been acclimated to these outside linebacker roles. He did play around 200 snaps at outside linebacker, not as much as Reese because Reese played 50-50, but Bain did play a lot of outside linebacker at one point. So I don't dislike Bain here. This makes a lot of sense. He's a real violent pass rusher. It makes sense. It really does. And I don't think this is just more of my pick than it is a schematic fit. I like Alvarez a lot. I just pick him more because of schematic. So we're going to go Ruben Bain here. I like it. Ruben Bain off the board. So that's one less weapon for the Cardinals attack. Do you want to go Alvarez here? They do need linebacker and it gets an edge off the board. Should we do it? I don't usually see people mark Alvarez to the Cardinals. I think it's not a bad option. It might not fit as well schematically as someone like Ruben Bain Jr. who immediately gets in. But Josh Sweat seems to be unhappy. I don't know if he's formally officially requested a trade. But regardless, he is seemingly a little bit unhappy. So why don't you build some more youth there? And even if he stays, you get a 2-headed monster in Alvarez who can play off ball and on ball. And the whole ability why he's going this high is mainly because of his extra ability. But the reason why he's already so refined as a prospect is his strength is off the charts. I mean, Ruben Bain and Alvarez's strength are both an tier of its own in this draft class. His speed, he ran at 4.46 at this combine. I just recently looked at the stats again yesterday when I was talking about David Bailey. But his speed was crazy. His drills were good. Those Ohio State guys know how to play football. And Alvarez's strength is so good. When I'm watching it on tape, it's very apparent. Same with Bain. I'm not going to knock Bain's strength at all. They're both, again, like I said, they're both in their tier of their own in this draft class. But regardless, I like Bain. I like Reese. It's just a preference of which team likes him, and the Jets fortunately get the first say in that. So unless they trade back, obviously, which I doubt they'll do because they need an edge so badly. So Alvarez is not a bad option. You get a linebacker and you get an edge here, and you can eventually develop him into a true stud. I like it a lot. Minus the maybe rawness he has. If you develop him right, he can be a future All-Pro and maybe even a Hall of Famer if we're jumping the gun a little bit. But I like it. I like it. With the Titans on the board, we're going to go Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. I like Jeremiah Love a lot. There's real one cut ability. There's real poise in there. When he seems like there's someone in the backfield, he doesn't get too antsy. He's very patient. He has great receiving threat ability, which would be amazing for Cam Ward. It really will. And Cam Ward, with weapons, he can be a top 10 quarterback, maybe top 5, borderline top 3. I love Cam Ward as a prospect. I loved him. I dare say I loved him more than Mendoza. I don't know. I haven't really had that debate yet. But regardless, Cam Ward is in last year's draft class. Mendoza is in this year's draft class, so we can't change the past. Jeremiah Love is a amazing prospect. I think I have him top 3 in my big board. He's solid. I don't think I liked him as much as Genti, but this draft class isn't as good as Genti. Like I just said, that is in the past. We should move on. So I'm going to move on. Jeremiah Love is crazy good. Like he's real good one cut ability. He can just house it. He can house that bitch. And that's what I like. That run against Indiana was awesome. Like he can really just take it. Like and take it. He can like take it and he can literally just go wherever he wants. Like that's how good he is. Like and his one cut ability, his ability to read the tackles, read in between the gaps is second to none. Like that in this draft class, second to none. Like it's really good. And his whole prowess of catching the ball too is awesome. He can real versatile in that aspect too as a prospect. So taking Jeremiah Love here is not a bad option. Brian Daboll gets you see what Brian Daboll did with Saquon Barkley, whether it was Brian Daboll or Kafka, regardless. It was they utilized him well, and I think Brian Daboll obviously had a big part in the Saquon Barkley success, that one run they did in 2022. That places a special place in my heart. But regardless, you take Jeremiah Love here. Use him in that same Saquon Barkley role. Maybe split carries with Tyjae Spears. Don't overwork him in the first area. Not a bad option at all. The Giants are on the board. Francis Mano is 100% in play. I've honestly been investing into this Francis Mano aspect as a Giants fan, right? You have Jermaine Illuminor locked in 3 years. You have first of all, before I go to the pick, let's talk about Sexy Dexy. Defensive tackle is 100% on play here. I mean, the best defensive tackle for me on the board right now it would be Peter Woods. But 5 is a little too high for him. If we're talking about pre-mock drafts, he was going projected to go top 3. But with Sexy Dexy on, I really hope they pay him. I really do. I love him. I mean, he's been a Giant for life. He's been there for as long as I've been following the Giants. Well, not as long, but he's been there for a while. Him and Daniel Jones, I was real believers in coming out of college. I love Daniel Jones coming out of college. Guys, I have some very bad news. I was literally in the middle of recording this. In the next morning, I recorded this at like 11 o'clock last night. I'm literally exactly halfway. As I was editing, I want you guys to look at this shit. I just got my day ruined. And this entire pick is fucked up now because they just signed Falele. But what the fuck? Why did they sign him? Like, genuinely, words cannot describe. This has been a terrible 48 hours. Dexter Lawrence requested trade and they signed Daniel Falele. What the fuck? What the fuck? Anyways, I'm going to go back to recording the video. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. It's only been like 7 minutes, but thank you. This sucks. This sucks. Please help me. But I was too young to realize. But like they don't have a 3rd-round pick, so they have too many holes, right? They have a big need for wide receiver, regardless if it's OBJ or comes back or not. They have a big hole, not a big hole for linebacker because they kind of addressed that with McFadden and Edmonds, but not a big hole in safety either. You can maybe invest in Newman and Holland. A big hole in wide receiver though, and Cardinal Tate's 100% available. Francis Mano is also 100% available too because they're guard. So the starting guard right now is John Runyon and Jay Kubas. I don't like Jay Kubas starting. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go Francis Mano. I know he did play right tackle. He's gonna be playing left guard, or you move Runyon, who's a seasoned vet, to left guard, and you move Mano to right guard and just eventually develop him under as a tackle next to Andrew Thomas. Their tackle is locked in long term. So if you go Francis Mano here, you get a guard and a tackle of the future, swing tackle of the future. Francis Mano has an unreal strength. It's not a flashy pick. I mean, maybe the Giants don't want to spend another 1st-round pick on a offensive lineman like they did with Evan Neal a couple years back that really whiffed. But I don't dislike taking Francis Mano here. I really don't. I think I like Francis Mano a little bit more, and he's a little bit less raw of a prospect as Evan Neal. So Francis Mano is not a bad option whatsoever. The Browns are on the board. There's a lot available. There really is. So Caleb Downs is in play. Mansour, I mean, some people might not want to hear Mansour is available, but like I'm a big believer in taking best player available. So like best player available, but like also fits. So it's not like reaching, but like I don't know. I just don't think I like taking Mansour here. Carnell Tate is available, and I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go Carnell Tate here. I think Carnell Tate makes amazing sense here. Not the fastest guy in the world, but like again, these faster receivers sometimes don't really matter that much. Like if you're running a 4.2, like Xavier Worthy, and you don't do some of the other stuff as well, you're gonna fall a little bit. That's why I always pick like what 31, 32. Like that's what I prefer, is a receiver that's more well-rounded, regardless to just blazing speed. Obviously, you had blazing speed receivers be successful in the NFL. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is the biggest name, right? But with Carnell Tate, I think he does everything well. Like other than his blaze, like other than the average to above average speed, like his route running is crisp. Has really good at the catch point. I don't think people are a little bit too harsh on his catch point radius. I think he's good at the catch point, if not above average. One of the best at this, best in the draft class at that. He's very crisp and finding the zones. He's like really good at finding the zone, so I don't dislike taking Carnell Tate here. It makes sense, and I would assume that the Browns take Carnell Tate here, so not a bad option. With the Commanders on the board, I want to start building that secondary a little bit more. Wide receivers available too. I think Carnell Tate is a sneaky good pick for the Commanders, but again, he goes a little early this year. So with Carnell Tate gone, we're gonna go Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. Take another Buckeye here. Caleb Downs is probably my favorite prospect in this class. After this, I've died on this hill. Last year, he was probably one of my favorite prospects coming into this class because his tackling's so damn good. Everything's just so damn good about him. I mean, the versatility, just how he knows where everything's going, the ability to cut and make plays. He's already such a smart football player, not even at the pro level yet. And the sky's the limit for how smart he can get. Like, he's a real leadership. Leadership is a big thing for me too. He's a real leader in Ohio State. He's just a smart kid. That's what I like. Obviously, the on-field traits are better, but I've already talked about that enough. His tackling's prolific and all that. He can play versatile roles. But regardless, Caleb Downs is a good option. Like, he's a good option. He's my favorite player in this class. So if you take Caleb Downs here, I love it. I really do. So Caleb Downs is not a bad option for this team. The Saints on the board after losing to Mario Davis and Sonny Styles being available. Take honestly one of my favorite players in this draft class too. I love the three Ohio State people who just went right now, back to back to back to back. Obviously, Reese there too. I love Reese. 4 Ohio State people go in the top 10. Crazy stuff, but it's not unrealistic because God, I love these guys. Like I love all of these Ohio State guys. I mean, Sonny Styles has been as good as some of these other guys I've just mentioned, and that's the whole thing about him. He is so good. He has developed so much as a player. Like, if you watch his tape, he has developed so much as a player mainly because he just learns. Like, and he's like Downs, he learns. I mean, not saying these other Ohio State guys can't learn, but I'm saying, like, he has that Downs-esque mental to him where he learns. And you've seen it build up. And as I was watching Ohio State games, because damn well I was watching a lot of Ohio State games this year, he was a stud. Like, and you just saw him get better. The film got better. Everything got better. His tackling got better. His whole idea and philosophy, his IQ, his whole idea of linebacker has just gotten so much better. And goddamn, was he good. Like, genuinely was he good. So, if we take Sonny Styles here, he's another high floor player. I wouldn't say high floor, actually. There's a good amount of bust factor to him. Sometimes I feel like he can rush a little bit too quickly into the blocks, which I don't think is as big as a concern as some people are making it to be. But that is a concern. I will show a concern when there is concern. So if we take Sonny Styles here, you have to develop him correctly. And I think the Saints have developed linebackers correctly in the past. So if we take Sonny Styles here, like, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. So Sonny Styles here is a good pick, and he's going to be a good run tackler. He's going to be good for this team in the pass pro too if you develop him correctly. He's just a good prospect, and damn well I'm going to take a good prospect here. Like it for the Saints. Good pick. The Chiefs here. The Chiefs would like a lot of things here. David Bailey is not what they historically go for, and I'm going to have David Bailey falling for right now. Mansoor is a good pick. Another Trent McDuffie-esque pick. They've historically gone for these type of guys. Spags love these aggressive, small aggressive guys. Dylan Thiemann is 100% play too. I think I prefer Downs here a little bit more than Thiemann if he falls, but regardless, we're going to go Mansoor. Again, Mansoor would be fit amazingly in the Spagnuolo type defense, and even with his low measurables and his arm lengths, I don't really think that's that big of a deal. I think he'll be awesome. He only allowed 50 catches at LSU this year. Take the value when you can, and they have a real glaring hole for corners. So if we take Mansoor here, you will get a real high floor corner, and also just a stud there that you need. You really need. So I like Mansoor here a lot. All right, so David Bailey is available here. I think this makes sense with the leaving of Trey Hendrickson. So I don't dislike David Bailey here at all. We're going to go David Bailey here. Listen, the thing with David Bailey is that, like, his strength is so marginal and so, like, inconsistent at times that I feel kind of uncomfortable sometimes picking him, like, top 2. I think I prefer Reese or Bane. I just like Bane more, and I think Reese fits better for schematically for the Jets. So I like that a little better at number 2. But regardless, David Bailey is not a bad player, and people are kind of harping on him a little too much. Like, I don't love David Bailey as a prospect. Don't get me wrong. I feel like his strength isn't, like I said, his strength is too inconsistent, and I just the stiffness and his fluidity isn't just up to par with me. So I don't like that. But he can get to the quarterback, and if you can get to the quarterback, maybe that translates to the league. I don't know if it will. And David Bailey doesn't have as big as a bag as I once hoped he did. But regardless, he's a solid player, and you need an edge anyways. And an edge is a really sought after position. So if we take an edge here, it's not a bad option for the team, especially after losing their cornerstone Trey Hendrickson. Even though the whole feud and saga that happened there, regardless, that's not his. That's again, it's in the past. The past is the past. But David Bailey goes here. It's another not filler, but it's another edge for this team. So I don't dislike it. With the Dolphins on the board, I love Dylan Thielen here. I really do. Do the Dolphins take Dylan Thielen here? I don't even know. I'm going to be dead honest. I don't know. I don't dislike Jermod McCoy here either, especially after that freakishly good pro day. Fuck it, we're going to go a little crazy. We're going to get Dylan Thielen here. I like Dylan Thielen a lot as a prospect. I really do. He's real good at his turnover ability. He's awesome. He's an overall really good prospect. I mean, there's not much that I can really say about him other than he's good. And I don't really see that many flaws in this game. And I like his whole poise to him. I don't know. I just feel like in the box or up high, he's really, really good. It's just a really good pick. And this team did lose Minka Fitzpatrick, so another safety is not out of play. And Jeff Hafley has come from a a previous corner / secondary unit with Big X, Big Xavier McKinney. I love that boy. And has used Xavier McKinney in great ways, so I don't dislike Dylan Thielen here at all. This makes a lot of sense. The Cowboys are on the board. I think with Dylan Thielen gone, let's show a little love to Jermod McCoy, who I usually sometimes have falling a little bit in these mock drafts with this pro day, with 4.38 pro day, with this 40-yard dash. Shit, maybe it changes. Jermod McCoy, I don't know. I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing because his acceleration didn't look too bad. And that was my biggest concern, is that how well will his acceleration go? And with that pro day, maybe my fears are alleviated. I wouldn't say disintegrated, but I would say alleviated. It's a vocab for you guys. It's a little bit more. The concern is still there. I need to see him playing in pads. Pads is the most important thing day in, day out on Sunday. I need him to see success there. But regardless, I think right now in the draft process, he's not bad. It's good he ran a 4.38 right before the draft, because that's gonna be fresh in people's memory. So it's a solid pick. So if they take Jermod McCoy, they get a real corner one now after losing Diggs, and I don't think Bland can be a corner one regardless. So if you take Jermod McCoy here, another corner. And great corner one. You get your lockdown stud if he eventually comes back from the ACL injury, which I said ACL injuries are not as hard to come back as they used to be. I'm still saying they're fucking hard. They're hard. I've seen people, and I don't know anyone who's got an ACL injury, but I've seen online people who struggle Achilles and ACL. It's tough, man. And if you can come back even better, because some people do, some generational people do, I think Jermod McCoy can do that. So good for him if he can come back even better. I like it a lot. With the Rams here, Kenyon Sadiq is not a bad option at all. Spencer Fano is not a bad option at all. Or there's just so much they can do. I think Kyle Lemons 100% in consideration. Kenyon Sadiq's 100% in consideration. Spencer Fano's 100% in consideration. There's a big tackle need. Do you want to take a chance on a tackle? I really wish they had picked 29, but they obviously got a big need for corner. I like Sean McDuffie a lot for that team. We're going to go Spencer Fano here. Even with Puka Nacua being in rehab, even with him being a gigantic question mark, even them shopping around with Devontae Adams, even with all that saga, maybe they just stick and go for the easy and build long term, maybe, instead of for the now Matthew Stafford, who's pretty widely considered to be going into his last year. With Spencer Fano here, you get a real tackle. You can play a lot of areas. If a guard goes down and you have a better tackle in place, he can play guard, and the other guy can swing in the tackle. He's just, his speed, his play strength is okay. It's above average, but it's not good compared to Maui Noah, not as good. With Fano though, his speed is really good. His flexibility is as good. I love it. I really do. So if you take Spencer Fano here, not a bad option. I like it a lot. The Ravens, the board has not fallen well. I mean, they would have loved Spencer Fano and Jermod McCoy. But why don't you take Vega Ione here? They don't usually go for these type of offensive linemen. But Dan Bell is a great player. He can put your ass on the ground. He's a high floor guard. He has great strength. I like it a lot here, and I know people are very, very upset if Vega Ione goes here. I don't think I'm as upset as some of these other people are. Obviously, it's not what they historically go for. But it's reacting like he's a bad player. Like he doesn't have as much flexibility as Spencer Fano. But what if Spencer Fano's off? Then what do? You're gonna go Vega Ione here. It's not a bad option to take Vega Ione. You're acting like he's a terrible player. He's a real good player. He's a top 15 player in this class for me. So if you take Vega Ione, the best true guard in this class, who's strong, he's the strongest player in this class. Maybe beside Maui Noah, he's an awesome, awesome player. Like I think this team has a big need at guard. It would be an awesome pairing to John Simpson, and this line can get even better. I know they don't historically go for this, but you sometimes need is a big need, and even with the need here, Vega is not a bad option. So I like him a lot here. The Bucks here, I wanted to go a little crazy today. I just love Derek Moore, man. I don't know. I don't know, but this is way too high. This is so that's like borderline like unrealistic. With the Bucks here, they need real edge presence. This team wants to win now. This team needs to win now. If they're not team, this organization, this front office needs to win now. Take Akeem Matador, you get a win now move. I like it a lot. I really do. So if you take Akeem Matador here, you get another bona fide, really good stud. I mean, you get someone who's going to be really good instant impact in the NFL. This organization is not. This ownership is growing impatient. Not the organization. The ownership is growing impatient. If they lose in a weak division again and lose the fashion like they did, and then blowing another fucking 5-1 start to the season, Todd Bowles is out. So if we take a Akeem Matador here, it's kind of like a save me type of pick, and it's kind of like a band-aid instead of like a surgery repair, right? It's just like, if you break your ankle, it's just like roll it off, champ, and put some icy hot. This is kind of like that, but I'm not saying Akeem Matador is a bad player, but like maybe it's not best for your long-term future. But I don't think this organization is really waiting for a long time for this future. So if you take Akeem Matador here, it's a good right now pick, and I don't think this team is really catering that much to long-term. So if you take Akeem, it makes sense. Jets on the board here. Mekhi Lemon's 100% available. Jordan Tyson's 100% available. I don't know if I like the injury history here, especially with the injury history of Garrett Wilson as well, and even Adonai Mitchell. Corners 100% play. I love Avion Terrell. Trust me, I love Avion Terrell. He will get his flowers, but maybe not Avion Terrell. Modern Feelings 100% not available. They already have their 2 tackles in place. So guard is in 100% need. Vega Ione is gone. Vega Ione is gone here, so that's 100%. I'm yapping too much. We're gonna go Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver to USC. This makes sense. It really does. He is a really good player. I mean, other than really the physical abilities, his acceleration, his frame, he's just a really good player. He's tough. He isn't afraid. He's fearless. He doesn't really seem to get spooked. Obviously, that's fearless. I mean, what the fuck am I talking about? But regardless, he doesn't seem to get upset and spooked. He's seemed to bomb his I don't know, his pro day or whatever, or his his combine meetings. I don't know. He didn't really have that many problems at USC, so why are we really concerned about that? Just one off day. He's really good. You can play him literally anywhere. I mean, you can play him slot, you can play him on the outside. You can play him in a lot of ways. So if we take Mekhi Lemon here, you get another great person. You get someone who can eventually be your guy of the future and be a consistent wide receiver, because he hasn't really missed much time at USC, and he's one of the better, more clean prospects this year's draft in terms of injury history. So if you take Mekhi Lemon here, you get versatility, you get explosiveness, you get not explosiveness, but you get like similar type of wide receiver type archetype, and it's another weapon for that eventual quarterback, whether it's 99% Geno Smith or I don't know, Brady Cook, bro. I don't know, whoever's the quarterback there, they're gonna have a good time with Mekhi Lemon, Garrett Wilson, and Adonai Mitchell. The Lions are on the board. Left tackle's 100% available. This just, if he falls, you go. I mean, you just zoom, you zap. So if you go to Monroe Freeling here, you get a real left tackle who doesn't really have the greatest play strength. He's super quick and super fluid for his size, and he's 6'7", 310, 315. He is amazing. Yeah, he is a good mover, best suited for an inside heavy runs. He must develop in strength and distribution. Exactly what I said. His strength is not great, and his experience is also not there too. I feel like if you develop him more, you get him acclimated to that role, and you get him moving freely and getting downhill, he'll be an amazing player for you. And if you watch his tape, him going downhill is scary as fuck. And he can literally take anybody going downhill. He moves fast, and he moves fast and with strength. It's not reckless like speed. It's just fast and good speed. If we take Monroe here, I love it. I really do. So if we take Monroe here, makes a lot of sense. With the Vikings on the board, defensive interior is 100% in play. Maybe you take Keldrick Folk. Maybe you can be that in between role. I don't know how much I like that though. American Warren is here. If you're a Vikings fan, what do you really want? I would want a defensive interior. Peter Woods is calling to me like a beer calls to me on a 9 p.m. on a Tuesday when I have to drive home. Not true at all because I'm underage. But regardless, that's how it's calling to me. Like Caden McDonald here too. Caleb Banks was honestly a really good landing spot for this team before he broke his foot, which has been the entire story of his career. I will get to that in the second round, but we're going to go Peter Woods here. I like Peter Woods more than any defensive interior in this class. Literally the only reason why his numbers are down is because teams game plan against him. I mean, that's like, you've seen dominant defensive tackles. Speaking of Dexter Lawrence, there is more people game plan around Dexter Lawrence, Jalen Carter, Vita Vea, Derek Brown. Like, people game plan against these big defensive tackles. You know why? Because they're good. Like, the big defensive tackles can take away so many running lanes. He can pancake the center or the guard. Like, there's just so much a defensive interior can do, and it's a real, not a sought after position, but like it's a more on the important side more than anything. So if you take Peter Woods here, you get a bunch of upside. He has great play strength. He has great strength, great speed, a bunch of flashes in the past. Even though it's a down year, take the upside, really do. And I think if you develop him correctly, you can be a monster and be that tier of Dexter Lawrence and Jalen Carter. So I really like it for them. With the Panthers on the board, Kenyon Sadiq is calling to me like a beer on 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. To quote the Vikings pick, we're going to go Kenyon Sadiq. I gave in and I got the beer. So Kenyon Sadiq goes here. We have to talk about him. He's a good player. I mean, I don't like him as much as I did Brock Bowers, but I don't think I liked any tight end out of college as much as I did Brock Bowers. Not even Warren or Loveland. Regardless, Kenyon Sadiq goes here, and I love Kenyon Sadiq. I really do. If people are hating on Kenyon Sadiq, there's probably some valid concern. He isn't the greatest blocker. There is some effort sometimes. He has breakaway speed. I mean, ran a 4.39, second best in history, only 0.01 behind D. Vernon Davis. So, food for thought. That was one of his biggest things too. If you look at his scouting report or first look, Sadiq has ideal modern tight end in terms of athleticism and versatility. He can play on the outside. Speaking of versatility, yeah, he can play on the outside. That's the big thing. He is, again, like, he is not a prototypical blocking tight end. He isn't. He's going to be more of a receiver. He's going to be more of a gadget guy. But regardless, he's going to be good. He's another weapon for Bryce Young, and Bryce Young thrives with these weapons. You saw what he did in Alabama with all these weapons. You saw what he did even this year with all these weapons. He had an offensive rookie of the year, McMillan, who was amazing in his own right. But Bryce Young got him the ball there. Coker wasn't that bad either in that latter half of the season. Leggett has been a swing and a miss, but like, I think you can develop him a little bit more. Taking Kenyon Sadiq here in a non-competitive tight end room, like, it's not a bad option. It really isn't. So take Kenyon Sadiq here. It makes sense. The Cowboys are on the clock. After taking Jamal McCoy, their corner of the future linebackers in play here. I don't like CJ Allen. He had a terrible pro day. Fuck him. Not fuck him. I'm sure you're a great guy, but I don't know. They don't go Keldrick Folk, though. They don't usually do that. Oh, I like TJ Parker here. TJ Parker is calling out to me again. We're going to go TJ Parker here. He can get to the quarterback. He's not the most prolific run stopper in the world right now. I think he can eventually develop into that. I think he can already be a 3-down lineman if you need him to. Regardless, next to Dominic Arzuruku, you can get to the quarterback. Again, another down year like Peter Woods. But he was good. And he can get to the quarterback. He can be a good game changer for this team, a good replacement for that the edge spot which they really lacked this year. So if you take TJ Parker, you get another good high floor edge player that can eventually develop into a stud. I don't dislike it at all, and I think people are being a little too harsh on TJ Parker. Again, the physicals and like everything, there's nothing he does that like wows me so much to the point where I'm like, oh, I gotta drop everything, take him. But like, he's good, and I think people need to understand that. Steelers are on the board. There's some needs. I truly despise Blake Miller here. I really do. Jordan Tyson is not a bad option. Omar Cooper Jr. is not a bad option. The problem is, who do you like more? Do you like Jordan Tyson's history with his injuries? No one does. Do you want Omar Cooper Jr.'s, like, you don't know how well he'll produce in the NFL, and if you can get the balls in his hands, because he's not really like a crazy explosive athlete. His speed's good, but it's not crazy explosive. Who do you like more? In this scheme and this schematic fit, Jordan Tyson would seem better if they didn't take Michael Pittman Jr. He would be really good next to DK if there was a Michael Pittman Jr. who already kind of fills his role. Omar Cooper Jr. played a lot of his snaps in the slot at Indiana. and that's the biggest thing for me. Is that he has so much versatility. You can literally play him anywhere, and with him, there is concern with him actually getting the ball in his hands, and sometimes his hands can be a little inconsistent. But I like his hands enough to the point where I'm comfortable taking him here. He's so hard to bring down. His contact balance is crazy. It's like a mini Ashton Genty where you just can't take him down. And he can just always seems to fall forward for 3 or 4 extra yards. And even if he breaks that tackle, he's just going for the next 3 or 4 extra yards. Like if you somehow manage to bring him down, good for you, bro. He's really good. So if you take on Marco Jr., it's another really good player, another really good slot option, another weapon for Aaron Rodgers or whatever that eventual quarterback be. Will Howard, Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, fucking Diego Pavia if he gets drafted there. I don't know. Omar Cooper Jr. is not a bad option, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be like shell shocked if they took Ty Simpson here. I just don't like the value. I'm gonna be dead honest. I'd rather them trade back up into the first round, get him, and be done with that than just completely just spend a pick on him. Regardless, do you take Omar Cooper Jr. here? We're not gonna feed into that Ty Simpson propaganda. With the Chargers on the board, I'm going to go in defensive interior. I haven't usually gone this in a hot minute. We're going to go Caden McDonald, a real run stopper for this team. He's really got the nose. He's probably one of the best run stoppers, if not the best, other than maybe Lee Hunter. Probably the best. He produced at Ohio State a crazy good defensive interior. They produced Tyleik Williams last year. So he kind of fit that Tyleik Williams. He actually did pretty well, like going back for Tyleik Williams. So not a bad option to take Caden McDonald here. I mean, he fits this team. A real run stopper, real gap shaper. Like he can get in between the gap and just stop you. A little bit less in terms of the passing game. Like I think he needs to develop more there. Again, the bones are there to the point where I feel like you can take him here. I like it a lot. That makes sense. The Eagles on the board. An edge is in play. Safety's in play after losing Blankenship. Maybe take a man like Warren. Wide receivers in play too. George Tyson can be a real X wide receiver. And in this scenario, I don't know if A.J. Brown's there or not. It won't be a bad option. If you take Jordan Tyson here, right, injury-prone guy, the Eagles historically haven't really cared about injury-prone guys. Quinn Mitchell was in Southern Hard Knocks. It was like a red thing marked by Joe Shane, the fucking mastermind of the New York Giants, the guy who can't even fathom paying Dexter Lawrence a fraction of his hard-earned money. Regardless, sorry, I need to get that out. But Jordan Tyson has injury history. Quinn Mitchell had injury history. It was marked injury history by some organizations. If you take him here, you might not like the whole injury history, but this team historically has not really cared about injury history that much in the past. So we take Jordan Tyson here. You get a real wide receiver 1 if he stays available. If you trade A.J. Brown, that's your immediate replacement. Maybe it doesn't have to be the wide receiver 1. Maybe Smitty can get that wide receiver 1 role. But regardless, you get another wide receiver across from Devontae Smith. And you get another great playmaker for Jalen Hurts. And it might not be the biggest thing right now, but I think tackles 100% play too. Like maybe develop Caden Proctor or even Ian Archer. I wouldn't dislike Jordan Tyson here, so we're gonna go Jordan Tyson. I think this is more of a best player available type of pick more than anything, because the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles just usually historically go for this type of players anyways. You saw with Jahad Campbell last year. I wasn't a gigantic need, but they took him. So I don't dislike it at all. It makes sense. The Browns. The Browns are on the board. They took Carnell Tate, offensive wide receiver, with the Browns. A little bit more development needs to be in place for Caden Proctor, but I like him a lot here. He's one of the left tackles in this class, but he makes sense. And I know the tape isn't amazing, and I think the whole, like, look at his frame, dude. I mean, it's crazy. He's 6'7", 366, and he's just crazy. He's gigantic. He can, if you develop him correctly, he's going to be a monster for years to come. And the only problem is his speed isn't elite. I like his speed more than some of the other people. I think he's so good at the speed that Alabama decided to play him on tight end for a little bit. It's a little bit of a joke, but kind of true. Regardless, Caden Proctor goes here. You get a real left tackle with good upside and good starting potential. And if you develop him correctly, he's going to be a stud for the years to come. So develop him correctly, fix his footwork, his technique, his hands, just everything mostly, and watch and see him rise to the top. Hopefully. The Bears on the board. I think Emmanuel Warren is too good for the value to pass up on. We're going to go Emmanuel Warren here. I love Emmanuel Warren. I love Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I do. I think he is such a rangy safety. I don't like him as much as Dylan Thiemann or Caleb Downs, but I do like him. He's a rangy safety. He's not as rangy as I once initially thought, but he's a rangy safety. He can hit you. Not the most prolific athlete. He didn't test amazingly at the combine. He tested fine to okay. But like, he's good. Like he's good. Like his instincts are good. His hitting power is really good. His strength is really good. His whole idea of interceptions, his hands are good to catch the ball. Like he's solid. He's a really solid prospect, and I think people should realize that too. So I don't hate Emmanuel Warren here. Makes sense. I like it. The Bills on the board. Let's see. Guard is in play. Do you like? I've seen Chase Santos go here. Linebacker, I don't know if I like linebacker here, I'm going to be honest. An edge might be available here. Like, I don't dislike edge. They run a 3-4, though. Might be a little crazy, but. Emmanuel Pregnon? Question mark? Yeah, we're going to Emmanuel Pregnon. Okay, listen, the thing with Emmanuel Pregnon is that he is a little bit older. He's a little bit on the older side. I love him as a prospect. I really do. I would suck a sweet spot for him. Him as a prospect is really good. Like, he's a little bit of an older guy. He's produced at Oregon. He's produced at USC. And he has a real high floor for his running game, especially. He's real strong. He's just a good prospect. He's not going to be the most flashy pick in the world. I mean, I'm kind of accepted that, but he's a top 30 player in this class for me. And he's produced. So why are you really worried about that if he's produced? So Emmanuel Pregnon goes here. I like it a lot. We're going to stick with that. With the 49ers on the board, I would like another edge here. Tackle will be here. I like Caden Proctor here a lot. He doesn't go here. But I'm going to go Maxi Nacho, right tackle out of Arizona State. I like it a lot. I think Maxi Nacho, if you develop him correctly, he can be a fucking stud. I mean, he's amazing. And I think some of the reps I've watched against David Bailey, he has real potential of being a cornerstone for whatever team takes him. And I like him. I really like him. So if you take Maxi Nacho here, you get a real developmental project. I mean, no one's going to say he's going to be immediately high floor project like Blake Miller. But I like him more than Blake Miller because the upside's so much better, and he's already proven to be good. Like, he's gone against David Bailey. David Bailey was one of my favorite tapes I've watched with him. He's really good. He wins the reps. He's strong. He has good frame. He has good pad placement. It needs to be a little accentuated a little bit more. And I think behind Trent Williams, it's not a bad option to continue to develop him and eventually start him after he leaves. So I like it a lot. Texans on the board, on the clock, on the spot. Christian Miller is not a bad option. The board has not fallen well for them. I'm going to be honest. I mean, Pregnon's gone. McDonald's gone. Woods is gone. I like Christian Miller so much to the point where, like, okay, like, he is really good. Like, I don't know. He's a freak athlete, in my opinion. He's really good. His tape is really good. And he just looks good sometimes. So I think I like Christian Miller a lot here. This team does need more youth in defensive interior position. So I wouldn't rule out Christian Miller. So Christian Miller goes here. Makes sense. I like it a lot. The Chiefs on the board. We're gonna go with another person here. Probably who they're gonna go. They took Mansour Lane. Do you want to double dip on corner after losing Jalen Watson and McDuffie? Do you want to go for a wide receiver here? The wide receiver board is not that bad. Casey Conception kind of seems a little too redundant for me. I don't like that. Call me crazy here. It might sound a little weird. It really does. And they really need corner here. I'm going to go Avion Terrell. This just fits, again, another small corner for them. Another small corner. But regardless, Avion Terrell is so aggressive. He's my corner number 2 in this class. Maybe beside Colton Hood after his pro day. I don't know. I'll decide that later. But regardless, Avion Terrell goes here. He's real aggressive. He plays bigger than he is. He might be smaller. But worst case, if he doesn't work out as a boundary, play my nickel. I mean, you don't want to spend a nickel in the first round, but I mean, like, damn well he's a good nickel. Like, a good nickel can change some teams. Like, I like Avion Terrell here a lot. The secondary is such a big need, and I don't dislike Avion Terrell here. I mean, I think an edge is going to play here too. I think Keldrick Full kind of fits that Spagnuolo type play, but maybe he falls out to 40, or maybe he takes Zion Young later. Malachi Lawrence. Like, I like that a little bit more than maybe Keldrick Folk a little bit, but regardless, Avion Terrell goes here. I think the value is too good for him to pass up on, so I like Avion Terrell here a lot. The Dolphins got cucked. I mean, who? I don't know. They just got fucked. Corners 100 going to play here too. If they take Colton Hood and Dylan Thiemann here, I like it. I really do. Colton Hood is not the most crazy good athlete ever. I mean, his speed is above average. Like, he's solid. Yeah, he stepped in for Jamal McCoy and was really well. But I think I just need a little bit more from him. That's why I've been following. And he had a terrible Senior Bowl. He really did. His combine was pretty good, so that's the reason why he's falling. But I liked him a lot. And then the whole Senior Bowl saga happened, and then all that. But his tape's not bad. So if you take Colton Hood here, you get a real player who can be really good for this team. And if you develop him correctly, again, he can be a real lockdown corner from the start. And this team actually just needs corner. So taking Colton here is not a bad option. The Patriots on the board, they're going to take Blake Miller off the tackle out of Clemson University. I like Blake Miller a lot. I do. It's just like, I feel like taking him at like 23 is a little too high. Taking him at 17 is a little too high. Taking him at like 16 is a little too high. I don't know. I just feel like for how battle tested he is, he's fine. I mean, he's gonna provide an average starting. I don't think his ceiling is as high as someone like Maxi Nacho or Caden Proctor. Obviously, those guys are viewed as developmental projects, but athletic freaks. Blake Miller is more of a start now type of guy, and he'll be good. And Morgan Moses is towards the tail end of his career, or even as in a Patriots uniform. Maybe not his career, but Patriots uniform. If you take Blake Miller here, another high floor player who can be good and develop him under Morgan Moses, you don't have to worry about the tackle spot again. So if you take Blake Miller here, hopefully get to tackle the future, and maybe he'll turn out to be above average and better than I initially thought. So I don't dislike him here. The Seahawks are on the board. Keldrick Folk is not a bad option. Zion Young is not a bad option. I'm going to go Keldrick Folk, another high stop floor run stopper. Not a bad option. I think Keldrick Folk is getting a little bit too hated on as a prospect. I really do. I think he's a good prospect. I think people are a little upset. He produced in the SEC. He got sacks at the SEC. I mean, if you look at his sack numbers this year, I mean, it's not bad. Like, he had 2 sacks, but he had 9 sacks the year before. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, which is what he's harped on most. He's not having a good pass rushing back. He has great run defensive snaps. He's really good. And he just has a good amount of tackles. Like, he's just a solid player. And I think if you develop him correctly and develop that pass rushing back, why don't you take him? Like, it's not a bad option to, quote unquote, reach for him. I think the Glaze needs to chill out a little bit, like at number 10. But like this 32 to like 40 to like 42 to like 15 range is not bad. Like, I don't dislike him to the Bucks. I just think that the Bucks wouldn't do that. So if you take Keldrick Folk here, another player to replace Boye Mafe won't be a bad option, and eventually build for the future too, while also getting a kind of a high floor stopping defender for the now. The Jets on the board here, with the Jets here. Denzel Boston, Casey Conception are still here, but the problem is they took Mekhi Lemon. So guards in play. Chase Thomas is not a bad option. Corner is 100% an option too. We're going to go a little crazy. We're going to go Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. I like Chris Johnson a lot. He has really good zone coverage. His man coverage is a little bit iffy, but he has great hands. He's a solid player. And this team doesn't need a real corner outside Sauce Gardner. I think he's one of the few boundary corners I can really trust thrusting into the NFL immediately and just being amazing. He had 4 interceptions this year, a career high. He didn't pick 6 it, but regardless, he's good. And he has 43 targets this year. He only allowed 185 yards. He's really good, and he's really, really good. Like, his whole idea of his zone coverage and like his surroundings is one of the best in this class. So I like Chris Johnson a lot here. Could be a real boundary corner, a real high floor player for them, regardless. So I like it a lot. With the Cards on the board, they took Arvor Reese. I think tackle might be in play here, but like, do you like anybody this much? Caleb Lowe, if you develop him correctly, you can take him here. If not, you can just kick him into guard, which won't be a terrible option. We're gonna do that. I think you take Caleb Lowe as a guard / tackle future. Not a bad option. If you take an edge rusher here, I would like a guard here. And I think Caleb Lowe is good enough to the point where you can take him this high. And he's a little bit more of a project too. He's not like Blake Miller. He's more like a little bit more of a project. But regardless, I like him a lot as a pure player. So if we take Caleb Lowe, not great play strength, but has a really good, great knack for actually getting down the field. He's amazing in terms of that standard. But like, developing a little bit more in his play strength, it wouldn't be a bad option. All right, with the Titans on the board here, I think an edge is a 100% play after taking Jeremiah Love here. So with an edge in play, who do you want to go with? Malachi Lawrence is 100% play. Zion Young is 100% play. I know I'm really, really pushing this Derek Moore agenda, but I don't think that's ready yet. We're going to go Malachi Lawrence, someone who can get to the quarterback. He has experience at outside linebacker, so if Robert Saleh wants to play him in that role, not a bad option. If you take Malachi Lawrence here, get someone who can get to the quarterback, which they really lacked last year. Even with Jermaine Johnson, I think an edge is 100% played here too. That's why I like a little bit more of a leeway towards the edge in the first round. So they can take someone like Carl Taylor or Love, because they already signed Jermaine Johnson, who isn't spectacular in his own right. He's going to be a okay pass rusher for them, but regardless, you get a rotational guy in Jermaine Johnson. You also get someone you can build for the future in Malachi Lawrence in the second round. I think I prefer that a little bit more than taking someone like David Bailey, who's more developmental too. So take Malachi Lawrence here. Again, not a bad option. Get to the quarterback. You can develop him into a stud, and he's honestly not a bad run stopper either. His strength is really good. His agility is really good. Tested off the charts in the combine. Not a bad sign for them to take here. The Bears on the board. Defense interior is 100% play. Do you want to take Lee Hunter here or Caleb Banks? Yeah, I don't know, son. I don't know. Who do they go, though? Like, deadass. Who do they go? Quarterback? They already took Tyson. No, they did not take Tyson. What the fuck? I'm cutting this shit out. Maybe tackle here, but again, I don't like the tackle board here. I really don't. The board is not falling well. I'm going to go for Lee Hunter. I think people are a little down on the Lee Hunter train, mainly because of his combine, his broad jump, or like his vertical jump. Some jump was really, really bad. I think it was like 20 inches. I think it was broad jump. Vertical jump. That sounds a little bit more correct. Why would you even test at that point? Regardless, he's a real run stopper. He can get to the run defender. Like, he's not a bad option. I mean, this team doesn't need a defensive interior, and it's not a bad option next to Max Crosby. You can be again an all-pro type player. So take Lee Hunter. It makes sense. I like it a lot. Makes sense. Giants on the board. Who do they take? Who the flip do they take? They took Francis Bano. I think wide receiver is available. with big Casey Concepcion still on the board. I think we're going to go Casey Concepcion or Denzel Boston. It honestly depends if OBJ comes. Casey Concepcion, like, they do have Calvin Austin and Darnell Mooney who can play that slot-ish role. Mainly Calvin Austin. But Denzel Boston's like a real wide receiver one. Like, I don't know how well Denzel Boston will acclimate to the NFL once he's not like the main option, because Washington was always trying to get the ball into his hands, and that's why he made so many plays. But I feel like when he was like not the primary option, he sometimes struggled. That's my biggest issue with him. And with Malik Neighbors, you have your number one option regardless. So that's not going to work out. Guards aren't going to play, but they took Franz Mano, so that's not going to really work out. Linebackers in play too. Dude, call me crazy. I'm going to go Jacob Rodriguez. Listen, it might sound a little crazy, but like, I don't know if I like Casey Concepcion because you already have Calvin Austin for that role. So it might be a little bit too of a redundant pick. And if you take Jacob Rodriguez here too, he doesn't have to thrust immediately to the NFL role. I think he's already going to be a high floor player regardless, wherever he goes. But if you take Jacob Rodriguez here, you get more time to develop him too. He's a little bit like aggressive, and sometimes his pursuit angles could be really bad. But he's a do-it-all type of guy. He can pick it off. He can stop you. Like, there's not many flaws in his game other than his real pursuit angles and speed and his lack of an athlete. But those fears kind of like didn't really like grow in the combine because he ran a really good combine time. Like, he wasn't astounding by any measurement, but like for what we were promised for his athleticism, he ran better than we thought he did. So if you take Jacob Rodriguez here, you get another linebacker for this team. Jermaine Evans can be the number one. You already need, you're signing him to be that. But you take Jacob Rodriguez here, you get another number 2/number 3 next to McFadden. So it's not a bad option regardless. With the Texans on the board, take Christian Miller. I don't like the guard board here. I really don't. So we're going to go a little frisky. We're going to go Jadarian Price. Someone who, when I watched on tape, literally couldn't, like, go down. Like, that's what I liked about him the most. He literally could not go down. And he's so hard to bring down. He would be a good contrast. Like, he'd be a starting running back, like, basically wherever elsewhere, if it wasn't for Notre Dame. Because he kind of, like, got cucked in the end because he had Jeremiah Love there, another elite running back. But Jadarian Price, it's really hard for him to go down. And him at goal line backs is not a bad option. I don't think they get David Montgomery. I don't think they're committed to Woody Marks long term. So if you take Jadarian Price here, you get another running back. And if not, he doesn't start immediately, and you have Woody Marks starting. Regardless, he's gonna be a part of this future. So I like it a lot. I don't really like the guard board here that much. So we're gonna take running back, take Jadarian Price. Maybe another team reaches for Jadarian Price, but we go Texans going here. With the Browns on the board, I think a wide receiver is in play. They have two of the best wide receivers available from the second round, Boston and Concepcion. So problem is, who do they like more? I'm going to go Casey Concepcion, mainly because I feel like Casey Concepcion he can play that versatile role for them. He can be a good contrast to Tate and Judy, who are both like kind of go-get-it receivers who can just head top you if you need him to. Casey Concepcion is not like that. He has a really good contested catch rate, but he's not jumping up tremendously high. He's contorting his body in the right places to do that, and he's also has not issues with his hands, but yeah, he has issues with his hands. But he also has versatility for playing a slot role, power return role. He's kind of do-it-all type of guy, and you get multiple values just for one pick. So it makes sense for a team that really had a struggling wide receiver core, and Todd Monken will probably like to eventually build up the wide receiver core more. And he honestly usually goes for these type of wide receivers too. He's worked a lot with them at Baltimore with Zay Flowers and Bateman and Duvernay. So all those guys have eventually turned out to be fine NFL players. So Casey Concepcion here can be good, and he makes the hard catches look easy and the easy catches look hard. That's my best motto for him. But regardless, I love him as a prospect. So he's an awesome stud. The Chiefs here, after taking two corners, I'm going to go an edge here. I'm going to go Derek Moore. Fight me. Sue me. The thing with Derek Moore is that, like, when I watch his tape, he's violent. He's literally reminds me of Ruben Bain, how violent he is. It's crazy. Like, he's so good. And I like Derek Moore a lot. He has real potential to be a 3-down lineman. I mean, I think he's awesome. And he is really good. He's honestly really good, and I think he can be so good for whatever team eventually gets him. He's just an overall really good player. Had a really good Senior Bowl, had a really good combine. I don't know why people aren't giving him more buzz, and I think people need to start giving him more of his respect. I know he is a little bit limited from his size, but regardless, he's solid. He's solid. I think the only main problem is his size, and if you can kind of look past that, maybe he can get to the quarterback and be a real good player for this team. I don't dislike Derek Moore here at all. I really don't. So if you just ignore the size and look at the production, I like it. So take Derek Moore here. Makes sense. With the Bengals on the board, CJ Allen on the board, like maybe you go CJ Allen on the board is not looking too well for them. We're going to go CJ Allen here. I think we are. And I like CJ Allen. I do. Not as much as I did, mainly because the pro day was so bad. He looked so slow. That was my main problem with him. He just looked really slow all the time. And that is his whole thing for his pro day did not help him out. So he takes CJ Allen here. Good run stopper, good thumper. It's just not really good in pass coverage. You guys got to work on that, but it's not a bad option in the second round. Since on the board, I think with taking Sonny Styles here, you're gonna probably go Denzel Boston here. I like Denzel Boston a lot here. You get honestly a pretty good player who can. He won't be the focal point of this defense, like I just said, or this offense, like I just said. If he isn't the focal point, he might not be as productive as some of these other guys. But if you take Denzel Boston here, you get another guy who can catch it. He's 6'4", 209. I think he has him 6'4", 209. PFF. 209. He's good. He's honestly pretty versatile. Like, he's pretty big. He's not as fast as Casey Conception. I don't think he's as versatile as him, but he's good. He's played in many different roles. He's played at slot. He's played on the X too. So he's a really solid player, and you really get the catch point. He doesn't have elite separation, but his speed and fluidity is so good for his size. So maybe you just ignore the whole separation and maybe the whole getting the ball to him aspect of it, and if you just eventually develop him, it's not a bad option. All these guys are developmental, so if you develop him, not a bad option. Dolphins on the board. Another wide receiver is 100% play. This wide receiver class is pretty good. Maybe get a high floor person in Jeremy Bernard, or maybe get a wide receiver talent in Chris Bell. I'm gonna go Jeremy Bernard though. I think that makes a little bit more sense. Jeremy Bernard is a high floor talent. I think on one of the mock drafts I reviewed, one of the analysts said he does all the dirty work, and that's honestly the perfect way to describe it. He does all the dirty work. He's a real slot receiver. He isn't like a prototypical slot where he's really young, but like he can be awesome. Like he's not the best at amazing like everything. Like he's good. Like he's good at everything. He's good at his catch point. He's good at his releases. He's good at everything. There's not real many lapses other than his size if you want a bigger receiver. But like his size isn't that bad for the NFL. Like 6'1" and like 180. Like it's not, or 204. He's 204. Like he's like that in betweener. He's not like Denzel Boston size. But he's not like Casey Concepcion size. So like that's the whole thing with him. He's a real high floor player, and this team just needs a consistent wide receiver. I don't trust Malik Washington long term. I don't trust Tutu Atwell long term. I don't trust who's the other guy then? I don't know. Some other random person. Turpin. Not Turpin. Someone from Dallas. I don't know. Someone else from Dallas. But regardless, you get Jeremy Bernard here. Not a bad option. Really good high floor player for them. With the Jets, they took Chris Johnson last pick, and then they obviously took their two studs at the front. Who do they want though? A guard's available. I'm gonna go Chase Pasantes. I think that makes the most sense. Chase Pasantes makes the most sense because they did lose AVT and Simpson. So you take Chase Pasantes, another high pro pass production guy. Not a bad option. I think it'd be awesome. I don't think I'm as high as him as a first round pick, but I definitely like him, and I'll probably want more. But if you take Chase Pasantes here, you got another high player. I don't dislike him going this range. So if you take Chase Pasantes, it's not a bad option. The Ravens are on the board here. Who do they take? I think wide receivers in play. Chris Bell is not a bad option. Return the Louisville connection, even though Lamar didn't play with Chris Bell. Chris Bell did tear his ACL. I had him consistently mocked as a wide receiver talent in the first round before he tore his ACL, and then he tore his ACL, and then he fell off my big board because I don't really take injuries like that into account. I take Jordan Tyson type injuries, but I don't take Chris Bell type injuries where you didn't really have an injury history, but then you just happen to tear his ACL. So regardless, Chris Bell goes here. He can literally play anywhere he wants. He has really good contact balance too. He's kind of like reminds me of a mini DK Metcalf. I like it a lot. Makes sense. With the Bucks on the board, I think the linebacker board is too good. Levante David retired. You're gonna have to go someone here. We're gonna go Josiah Trotter, another high floor player and a really good run stopper. He has a little bit more to be desired in the pass stopping game, but if you take him in the run stopping area, he'd be awesome and kind of fits that Levante David role, who's also a really good run stopper, who's a cornerstone for that franchise, and it was a real shocker that he retired. So take Josiah Trotter. You desperately need linebacker, so you spend 2 premium picks in the first and second round on an edge and a linebacker. So it's not a bad draft. Like they really needed this, and I think sometimes you just have to go for positional need than best player available in this scenario. The Colts are on the line. I'm gonna go defensive interior Caleb Banks. I love this fit for him a lot. I actually do, and I think the thing with Caleb Banks here is that like you can develop him into a real defensive interior guy. And they've had defensive interiors in the past that have been really good. So if you take Caleb Banks here, other than really his whole injury history, he moves and it like moves people and moves just himself really quickly. And it's freakishly quick how well he goes. So I don't dislike Caleb Banks here at all. It makes a lot of sense for his team. With the Falcons, the first pick on the board, corners in play. I'm gonna go Brandon Cisse, corner out of South Carolina. Not a bad option to take him. Maybe you could contrast it to AJ Terrell, not Avion. I keep on so used to saying Avion, but good contrast to AJ. Not a bad option to take Brandon Cisse here. He's an athletic freak. He's not that great in the strength department, and sometimes he just gets burned. But he just runs super fast. He plays super well. Like I like Brandon Cisse a lot, so makes sense. The Vikings on the board. Who do the Vikings want to take? A defensive tier is gone, so I think a safety is in play. I think I'm going to go AJ Halsey, another pretty good player for me. I like AJ Halsey a lot. He does a lot of the little things well. He's a very high floor player too as well. He'd be an awesome fit for the team, and a team that really needs a safety. So I wouldn't dislike taking AJ Halsey here. And even with Harrison Smith on his way out, you still have him there, so it's not a bad option to continue to develop AJ Halsey. Maybe he takes a jump in his play. I don't dislike it. He was a really good player, do-it-all player for LSU. Not a bad option at all. The Lions, I would like a edge here, and the good thing, the edge board has fallen really well. I'm gonna go Zion Young, edge out of Missouri. He's honestly pretty good. Like, the thing with Zion Young is that he's a really high floor run stopper as well, but like he can get to the quarterback if you need him to. Like, he honestly, other than the DUI, I don't really have much of like an issue with the Lions taking him here, because again, the team needs more edge after losing Al Muhammad. I think that's what his name was. Regardless, they lost an edge rusher. So if we take Zion Young here, it's not a bad option, and they need a real edge rushing option here. Makes sense. The Panthers on the board. Who else do they take? A defensive interior is not bad here. I don't dislike a safety here either, but I don't know if I like any of the safeties here. Maybe Zaki Wheatley, but like I don't know how valued he is, and the whole drop off after Caleb Banks is gone. So who do they take? I wouldn't dislike a corner here too. Keith Abney is not a bad option. More of a developmental player. Treydon Stukes can play that. I'm gonna go Treydon Stukes here. Treydon Stukes can play more of that developmental like safety hybrid role that can also play corner too. They have him listed as a corner, but people have him more as a safety. Regardless, that'll be a real need for this team regardless, because this team's safety area and corner area is getting a little older, other than J.C. Horn, obviously, who's a cornerstone of that defense. But if you take Dante Jackson into account, like, you don't know how long they'll be there long term. So you take Treydon Stukes, develop him into either a safety or a corner, maybe even both. Like, if you can find a way to develop into both, won't be a bad option. I like it a lot. Go Treydon Stukes here. Another great player for the Packers, I'm gonna go Keith Abney. Historically, go for these type of guys too. He's a little bit smaller, but he plays really big for his size, and he's a really smart too. And he isn't the best at some of these physical games, but like, he's just really big, and he can be really good as a contrast. So I don't just like Keith Abney here. Makes a lot of sense. With the Steelers on the board, we're going to go into our opposite lineman here. We're going to go Caden Rutledge, guard out of Georgia Tech. I've mocked this before. I like Caden Rutledge a lot. His strength is amazing. He makes a lot of sense here. I like it a lot. We're going to go Caden Rutledge here. A real player for this team. It makes sense. I really like Caden Rutledge here. We're going to go Caden Rutledge. With the Eagles on the board, to Jordan Tyson. A tackle is not bad here. Maybe you want to develop like someone like Caleb Tiernan or Jennings Dunker. I don't like that much. Someone who can play like off ball, like drop back into linebacker maybe. I don't know if I like this. I'm gonna go Jennings Dunker. I'm not a gigantic fan of this, but the board has fallen very, very bad for this team. It really has, and I don't think I like D'Angelo Ponce here. So we're gonna go Jennings Dunker here. Hope we develop him into a good tackler. He moves really slow, but if you develop him into a physical beast, and worst case you can him to guard if he doesn't work out. But it's a solid offensive piece for this person, and the team does need a tackle now that Lane Johnson is getting older, so and his injury history, so it's not a bad option to take Jennings Dunker here. It's a little bit of a reach, but I think with Jordan Tyson, you already took your home run hitting swing, so maybe you take Jennings Dunker here. You get a solid player for the future. Not a bad option. The Chargers are on the board. I think I like Caleb Tiernan a lot here. He can play more of a guard role. That is not Caleb Tiernan. Where are you, Caleb? We're going to go Caleb Tiernan. I view him more as a guard more than anything. He moves a little bit slower. His combine was a little bit on the slower side, too. He's a real strong guy, too. He looked amazing in some of his strength drills. So, not about to take Caleb Tiernan. I like it a lot. Makes sense. The Panthers on the board. I would just like Cash Tower here. You get a real edge rusher. Armis Thomas, Gabe Yakis. Not a bad option either. D'Angelo Ponce isn't bad either. They lost Greg Newsome. Not a bad option whatsoever. We're going to go Gabe Yakis, edge out of Illinois. Again, another edge rusher. He's a little bit like I have my issues with him. He's a little bit better when he is a little bit more consistent. Like, obviously everybody's better, a little bit more consistent, but like, I don't like his consistency sometimes. So that's a real issue with me with his. So if you take Gabe Yakis here, you gotta hope he stays consistent and will be an awesome fit for a team that really needs an edge rusher and can get to the quarterback. So not a bad option. The Bears on the board. Edge rusher is not a bad option. Who do they go though? Derek Moore I would have loved here. Someone who gets to the quarterback. I don't dislike Cash Tower here, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I like Cash Tower here. I really don't. A center is not a bad option. That's not a bad shout. But like, who else would they take though? Like, okay, don't crucify me. Don't crucify me in the comments. Don't crucify me. We're gonna go Cash Tower here. I don't usually go for this. I'm gonna say that I don't usually go for Cash Tower here. Cash Tower can get to the quarterback. This team needs a lot more than DPR, and I think Cash Tower is a DPR. So that's a big issue. But like, if he can get to the quarterback, like he can get to the quarterback if you need him to, and that's my biggest takeaway from him. If you can get to the quarterback, you can get to the quarterback. So I just like Cash Tower here. We're gonna go Cash Tower here. Makes a lot of sense. The 49ers are on the board. We're gonna go. They took a tackle in Maxi Nacho. We're gonna go another edge here. We're gonna go someone who can also just play everything. Not everything, but someone who can also just get to the quarterback. We're gonna go Artemis Thomas so we can get there. I reviewed a mock draft Pete Prisco, who's very high on Artemis Thomas. I don't get it. I think Artemis Thomas is more of a second to third round player. I like him a lot as in terms of like getting to the quarterback. His problem is he's a little bit too inconsistent as the running game, and he also is just his combine was just terrible. It was just terrible. So if we take Artemis Thomas here, not a bad option for the future. And this team does need a really more rotational edge rusher that can just get to the quarterback because you already have Nick Bosa and Michael Williams locked in. So it's not a bad option to take him. But like, take that with a grain of salt, regardless. So Artemis Thomas is not a bad option. Texans, I'm gonna go another guard / tackle here. So we're gonna go. Should I go Logan Jones, another center? I know people are higher on Logan Jones. I'm going to go Connor Lew. I think I'm a little higher on Connor Lew. I like Connor Lew a lot. He's going to be a good high floor center for them. Not a bad option. You can develop him. If not, you can trust him in immediately and eventually watch him just try. And it's not a bad option to take Connor Lew. I don't think he's a bad player. So yeah, he's really good, and I think he'll be a solid player for them regardless. So not a bad option. The Bears on the board. I'm taking edge Cassius Howell. Maybe defensive interior is not a bad option. I'm going to go Big Citrus. I actually like the Big Citrus a lot. I mean, the numbers are down a little bit from last year, but I mean, he's a solid player, and like he's not bad. He's very sound. He's really strong. I mean, he can stop the run defense. Like he can get to the ball carrier. Like that's the biggest thing for this team. I think on the defensive side of the ball, this team could not stop the run for the life of them. Jackson Dart was running on them. Everybody was running on them. I mean, they played against some good teams this year, but like regardless, everyone was running on them. So if you take Big Citrus here, you get another player who can stop the run. And then you also get your pass rusher of the future, and you also get Cassius Howell, who can eventually get to the quarterback. So it's not a bad option. Kind of a yin and a yang. The Rams here, after taking Spencer Fano here, another wide receiver is not bad here. And you know who I really like? Ted Hurst. We're going to go Ted Hurst here. Another wide receiver who will be amazing. A good contrast to some of those other guys in that room. Ted Hurst doesn't have really experience playing the slot, but I think Puka Nacua can slot into that slot position and be a slot mismatch. Not a bad option whatsoever. I think Ted Hurst can play on the outside. He has a little bit more concerning with his route running, but his speed and his physicals are amazing. His catch points amazing. The only problem is he played at a G5 school, so it's not a bad option to take the risk on here. And I like him a lot. His combine was pretty good. Like everything just looked really good. His tape's really good. I like it. Like he looks good. There's still a problem is he gets a little sloppy with his route running, but if you develop his route running and his development, or just not a terribly hard fix, like he can work out. I really do think he can work out, so not a bad option. The Broncos here, Eli Sauer is not a bad option. I don't think wide receiver is as big as a need as PFF is claiming to be. Linebacker is not bad either. The linebacker area is not bad either. Jake Holiday will make sense for his team. I actually like Jake Holiday here. To Jake Holiday, another straight line speed type of guy. He didn't test amazingly well at the combine, but he will be a good run stopper for this team. He's definitely a really good player. I mean, his PFF says his athleticism. Let's look at his first look. 6'4", 240. Like he's pretty big, right? Like I don't dislike taking Jake Holiday here for a second round pick, not a bad option. I think defensive interior is 100% play, but the board, like I'm not a gigantic fan of the board. Maybe you take the Godfather here, but like I don't know how I feel about that. So taking Jake Holiday, his teammate, not a bad option. The Patriots are on the board. Who do they take? A tackle they took. Defensive like line or like edge, like after losing Kason is not a bad idea. Well, High can be more of a DPR, but I like him more in the round 3 areas. Kamara honestly can be a good like sleeper build like next couple rounds. Linebacker, the board has not fallen that badly either. I'm gonna go Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker of Texas. Not a bad option. I actually like Anthony Hill Jr. I do. Other than maybe the inconsistency sometimes, but like I don't think Texas uses him the right way. I think they were dropping into coverage too much. If he blitzes and like comes off hot, he can really hit the quarterback, and that's what I like. He can get to the quarterback. This team could use another blitzer. I think Mike Vrabel would enjoy that. So you got another defensive chess piece to this team. Again, makes sense. I like it a lot. We're gonna go Anthony Hill Jr. Makes sense for this team. For the Seahawks, defensive backs 100% play, and I think defensive backboard has not fallen that well. Fallen that bad. Specifically, Big Iggy or Pawns, I'm gonna go Iggy. I like Ignosin a lot. I do. I think Ignosin could be an amazing player for this team. A little bit of a gravity player, but he's very aggressive. He kind of fits that Tariq Woolen role, that kind of physicality that you'll miss when he's gone. Even though sometimes he gave up really dumb penalties, but regardless, he was a good player. And now that they're losing him was a really bad thing for this team. I don't think they were really like intrigued on getting him because the deal he signed with the Eagles was like really bad. So like really cheap. So if you take Iggy here, you just again investing in the future, so that's not a bad option to invest. But regardless, that is my mock draft. Thank you for watching. As always, if you made it this far, I love you, bro. You are amazing. You nice girth. I love it. Thank you for your patience. And sometimes if I mess up, I'm sorry. It is what it is. We're all human. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.